I'm with Darlene Reid, Board Chair for the REALTORS Association of Edmonton, and we're at ABC Head Start, one of their campuses that helps the local community. And we're going to be talking about how charities like this are helped by the Edmonton Realtors through the Realtors Community Foundation. But first, Darlene, 2025, it's coming to an end. Here we are in December. What are some of the highlights and big changes that we saw in 2025?
Well, 2025 was a year of steady change. We started the year with really tight inventory, which put a lot of pressure on the market. It was very fast-paced. As we're ending the year, we're seeing a little bit more inventory growth, not as much pressure for buyers, which is giving them a little bit more choice. And we've seen our rental market. You know, the year started, the rental market, there was a lot of pressure on rentals. And as we're seeing more inventory come on the market, it's relieving some of that pressure, and hopefully that continues into 2026.
So has this helped with some of the affordability?
Absolutely. You know, the affordability was impacted a little bit by the interest rate drops. We saw a little bit of shift in the market when those announcements were made. It has, with the inventory, it's given buyers a little more choice, a little more confidence. And, you know, prices are still up year over year. That's one thing that didn't really change, is it continued to still grow, which was interesting. As inventory grew and the sales dropped, the prices didn't drop. But it is more of a balanced market, and it is giving a lot more choice to our consumers.
Balance and choice is a good thing. Darlene, we love to compare. How is Edmonton doing compared to other Alberta cities?
Well, Calgary has generally been a little bit more expensive than Edmonton, so we still remain one of the most affordable major cities. When you look at the surrounding communities, we're seeing a lot of growth in areas like Beaumont, Leduc, Spruce Grove. We're seeing a lot of shift to some of those smaller communities. When you look at places like Lethbridge or even Red Deer, they've had some modest growth this year, but Edmonton still remains one of the fastest growing. And a lot of that is due to some migration and some population shifts towards the Edmonton region.
Perfect. Nice to hear that. And to stick around as we go throughout the morning, we're going to be talking more about the real estate market here in Edmonton, as well as some of the charities that they give to through the Community Foundation. Well, I'm spending my morning at ABC Head Start, one of their campuses, and we're talking real estate. How do those two relate? We are going to get to that as far as charity component is concerned. I'm with Darlene Reid. And Darlene, let's talk about going into 2026. If people are thinking about maybe buying in 2026, what are some of the things they need to think about?
Well, for the market in 2026, the market's always shifting and changing, so it's really important to work with a professional realtor. They have access to the local data knowledge. They're local neighborhood and market experts. When you're working with a realtor and you're planning to sell, they can do a pre-inspection walkthrough. They can give you your little honey-do list of things to do, like the paint touch-ups, you know, maybe fix some caulking around your sinks and your tubs and toilets, and just little things that'll help present the home better, because we do know first impressions make a big difference. And in the winter months, with a little more inventory, there's a little less pressure, so it gives buyers a little bit of breathing room to make a choice. And you know, the advice I would give is you buy for your lifestyle, not the headlines. So if there's a home that meets your budget and meets your needs and your long-term goals, then winter's a great time to make a move.
And would you find or say that winter's maybe better for a buyer or a seller?
I would say that, well, any time I believe is a good time for a buyer or a seller to make a move. But, you know, in the winter when you're looking to move, I mean, obviously it's a little colder, but sometimes with that more inventory choice, it does take pressure off, and you can take a little more time to make sure you do your due diligence, and that you're making sure you're getting your inspections done, and you're not maybe competing in as many multiple offers as we saw at the beginning of the year in the spring market. And
working with the realtor, that's very important. How does that help increase the confidence with the process?
Well, when you're working with a professional realtor, you do have access to that real data, that you know, specific market knowledge. They have a pulse on what's happening in terms of inventory, in terms of mortgage rates, because they're usually, you know, partnered with inspectors and mortgage brokers. So you're getting that expertise knowledge. They also have access to some research, you know, databases. For example, if you buy a home and you think, oh, I'm looking onto this wonderful big field, and next thing you move in and you find out a big, you know, commercial complex went up. So realtors can do the research for you and find out what the zoning is on, you know, surrounding properties, because you're not just buying a home, you're buying into a community.
For sure. Thank you, Darlene. And stick around. We're going to be talking about the charity component that the Realtors Association likes to give to, coming up next time we chat. We've been spending our morning at the ABC Head Start campus at Millwoods Town Centre, and we're making the link between that and the Realtors Association of Edmonton through the Realtors Community Foundation. I'm joined by Amber this morning. Good morning, Amber.
Morning.
Why don't you explain what your community foundation does and how we're tying it into charities?
Yeah, so realtors live, work, and play in the communities that they serve, and so they really need to give back to that community. And so we are a foundation here in Edmonton that allows them to do that via volunteering and monetary donations.
And is this something that just realtors give to, or is it open to the public as well?
The public is more than welcome to give back to us as well. We give back to multiple charities a year, and that is exactly why we're at ABC Head Start here today.
So tell us a little bit about ABC Head Start and what they offer and how you help out.
Yeah, so ABC Head Start applied for our fall funding, and they were a successful applicant. So they're receiving $10,000 from us today to go towards their nutrition program, which gives back to the children here to make them feel like superheroes and to live their best lives and to make sure that they are fully full and eating snacks all day while they're learning.
Perfect. And do you know how many charities you actually help give back to?
Yeah, so we give back to about 30-ish charities a year, wow. Equaling over $300,000. So since inception in 1984, we've given back over $6 million to local charities wow. here in the Edmonton area.
That's amazing. And again, public can help out. Is it just monetary donations that you're looking for, or is time also as good?
Time is equally as good as monetary donations in our heart, sorry. And so we hold monthly volunteer days where realtors, industry partners, and even the public can join us to give back to charities that they care about in their community.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Amber. And for more information, you can visit the website at the bottom of your screen. And stick around. We're going to talk with Darlene Reid once again about some of the projections for 2026 market coming up. Well, I've been spending my morning at the ABC Head Start campus in Millwoods Town Centre, and we are talking about real estate coming up in 2026. I'm with Darlene Reid. And Darlene, how do you get together and come up with some of the projections for 2026?
Well, when we project what our housing market's going to do, we look at several factors. We look at interest rates, what the Bank of Canada is going to do. We use some ATB and local economists that use real data-driven. It's not just some theories, it's actually data-driven predictions. We look at some of the migration trends into our region. We're seeing a lot of migration, not only just from within Alberta, but across the country. So we look at some of those trends. We look at age and demographic. We look at kind of what age demographic of our population is actually buying houses and where that demographic sits in our predictions. We look at some of the investment into the Edmonton area because, when we have all these investments in businesses like this big River Cree project that's coming up, that obviously drives, jobs, which drives, some money flowing into the economy, which allows people to go out and buy homes and have that, dream of a home ownership.
And the great thing is you guys come together in January and present this and do a forecast for the next upcoming year. Mm-hmm.
It's one of our biggest events we have, and it is not only just for realtors, it is for a lot of the market industry experts, like we have mortgage brokers and appraisers, we have home builders that attend. And it's also open to the public because there's a lot of good information for anyone who might be thinking of making a real estate move in 2026. There's some really good advice and some really good data that people can use to make some informed decisions.
Is there anything you can give us as far as a sneak peek into 2026?
No, we're not going to give away all of our secrets, but you can buy tickets. They're online on our website, and for the price that you pay, you get a lot of value-packed information, and you also get a breakfast.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Darlene, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. Great information as always. And for more information, you can always visit the website at the bottom of your screen and get more information about the REALTORS Association of Edmonton.